Hafide Guam, and welcome to another segment of Island Palate. I'm your host, Lieutenant Dave Bloss, and with me here today is my co-worker, Lieutenant Tim White, and his wife, Vernicia. And Tim, if you can introduce your kids.
Sure. This is Haistaway, Pela'aya, Abraham, Noah, and Daniel, and they're going to be helping us make pizza today.
On the right-hand side, we have our pizza dough ingredients. We have our whole wheat flour, and we'll measure out 4 cups of that. And on our right, we have our olive oil mixed with our raw honey. We have 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil. You can substitute with any oil, and 1/4 cup of raw honey. We have 2 brown eggs, and you can use any eggs available to you. We have 3/4 cup of warm water, and we have 3 teaspoons of instant yeast. We have our sea salt, and we have 4 teaspoons of that, or we'll measure it out. We'll grind it. You can use any type of sauce, and I normally make my own tomato or tomato-based sauce, but this is a favorite of mine, and it's very easy. It's just extra virgin olive oil. And what I'm going to do is we'll use this and put some sea salt on top of that as our base. And we have our sweet peppers, and this is approximately 1 to 2 medium to large red peppers. And I have some grape tomatoes. This is about 2 packages just because we're making so much, but you could just use 1. And here we have about 2 medium red onions. And in each of these bowls we have mozzarella cheese and raw sharp cheddar cheese, or any type of cheese you're most comfortable with. And I like cutting them in big chunks so that it easily melts on top. If you want to use shredded cheese, that's fine. Just use a lot more to compensate for the size. It's approximately an 8-ounce bar for each bowl. If you prefer to have meat, we're going to add it. And this is organic ground beef, and it was just cooked in some onions and minced garlic with some sea salt and freshly ground black pepper, or you just use black pepper. Please measure out for me 4 cups of our whole wheat flour and put it in this bowl. And that's good that you're doing that so you don't pack it down. You don't want to pack it down.
So that's important.
That is important. You want the flour nice and loose. Grind up the salt. And then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of sea salt. And you want to sprinkle it around so it makes it easier to mix up in the flour. Your instant yeast, and there are 3 teaspoons, and if you could just sprinkle that around the flour as well. 1/2 cup of oil and 1/4 cup honey. It's mixed together. And go ahead and add the 2 eggs. Warm water. What you want to have always, whenever you're forming pizza or any type of bread, you always need some flour so that you can sprinkle on. You want to be able to test the dough. So it looks a little wet. It looks great. This is a nice dough.
So how do you test the dough?
The way that you test the dough is that, let's say if it's dry, if your dough is ever dry, you could tell because there's still flour remaining around, but notice that the oil and the water has picked up all the flour. So that's good dough. So that's nice and wet. And what we're going to do is we're going to form it in a type of bowl with a wooden spoon. And I noticed that with this set of measurement for the ingredients, 1/4 cup of flour is normally a good measurement to sprinkle on the top. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to form a ball. And I'm just pressing that with the wooden spoon. Here, put the flour on top, the 1/4 cup of flour. I'm just going to tuck it in the sides. This is not really necessary, but it makes it helpful to work with the dough later on. And I'm just patting that flour down. You just cover it with a towel and set it aside in a warm area, and I'll just use one of these towels. Wait for about 2 to 3.5 hours, and no more than 5. What I'm going to do is I have some flour prepared that I'm going to put here on the countertop so that I can roll it out, just in case it's a bit wet. And you can have anywhere between 2 to maybe 4 cups of flour prepared beforehand for this measurement, for this small batch. What I'm using here are round pizza stones that basically have an even distribution when you're cooking bread or especially your pizza, you can substitute it with metal pans, but you have to also keep this in mind. When you bake anything, especially on a flat surface with metal, like cookies or pizza, it has a tendency to burn the bottom before it starts cooking the top, just because you don't have that even distribution that stones give. So I'm going to get a little bit of flour and just sprinkle it on my pizza stones. I could even oil these pizza stones, but I prefer using flour just because if your pizza dough is sticky, it won't stick to the flour. It's nice. You will be able to scoop it up. This dough looks like it's nice and wet, and do you see that nice stretch?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for?
That's what you're looking for. That's the gluten working with this type of flour. That's why you want to use bread flour, whole wheat flour. That was about a golf ball size. I'm going to add a little more to make it 2. I'm just squeezing it, and I'm just going to roll it into a ball. And I just want to form any type of circular shape. So what we're going to do is, after we form our pizza rounds with our dough, we're going to go to the pizza stone next, and then what we're going to do is we're going to press in the edges, and we're going to seal it twice. So I'm going to press in the edges and once, and I'm just pushing it down. You notice there's so much flour,
yes,
so it's not really going to stick. A little bit of olive oil. Settings are 425 degrees for 14 minutes, and give or take 2 minutes if you use the bottom rack. We have about 7 more minutes to go. The cheese has melted about, I want to say 70% of the way, because you still see some solid parts.
Okay, so here we are with our finished product, our pizza that we just prepared. With the help of Fernicia and Tim, thank you for having us as your guest. To all our viewers, tune in next time for more local favorites. Adios, Guam.